Here's the truth that nobody in your company wants to say out loud. AI isn't going to take your job. But the person sitting 3 desks away who figured out how to use AI effectively, they absolutely will. And the scary part isn't that this is happening. It's that it's happening right now. And most people have no idea they're already losing ground. Welcome to KB BlueTree, where we break down the career realities you need to understand before it's too late. I've spent years helping professionals navigate major career transitions, and what I'm seeing right now is unprecedented. The gap between people who get AI and people who don't is widening every single day. Today I'm going to show you exactly why this is happening, what it means for your career, and the specific steps you need to take to make sure you're on the winning side of this divide. By the end of this video, you'll understand the real threat to your job security, why technical skills alone won't save you, and the framework that separates professionals who thrive from those who get left behind. This isn't about learning to code or becoming a data scientist. This is about something much more fundamental. Problem. Let me tell you what's happening in companies everywhere right now. There's someone in your organization who's producing twice as much as they did 6 months ago. Their work quality is better. They're meeting deadlines that used to be impossible. Management is starting to notice. You might have even noticed it yourself. There's that colleague who suddenly seems to have figured something out. They're not working longer hours. They're not more stressed. But somehow they're running circles around everyone else. And you're starting to wonder, what do they know that I don't? You're working just as hard as you always have, maybe harder. But the goalposts keep moving. What used to be impressive is now just expected. Your performance reviews are still good, but they're not great anymore. And there's this creeping sense that you're becoming just average when you used to be excellent. Meanwhile, you're seeing things that don't make sense. People with less experience getting promoted. Colleagues landing opportunities that should have gone to more senior people. Entire teams being restructured around individuals who seemed unremarkable just a year ago. And when you ask what changed, everyone gives you the same vague answer. They're just really good with the new tools. Here's what's actually happening, and it's not about the technology. The real issue is that there are 2 completely different approaches to AI, and most people are stuck in the wrong one. Approach 1 is what I call AI as a tool. This is where most people live. You use AI like you'd use any other software. You'd go to ChatGPT when you need help writing something. You use AI when you're stuck on a problem. It's reactive. It's occasional. Supplemental to how you already work. Approach 2 is AI as a workflow. This is where the gap is being created. These people have fundamentally redesigned how they work around AI capabilities. They're not using AI for tasks. They're using AI as an integrated part of their entire process. The difference in output is exponential, not incremental. Here's why this matters so much. When you use AI as a tool, you get maybe a 15 to 20% productivity boost on the specific tasks where you apply it. But when someone rebuilds their entire workflow around AI, they're not 15% more productive. They're 2 to 3 times more productive across everything they do. The brutal reality is this. Your company doesn't care whether you use AI. They care about results. And when one person is producing 3 times what another person produces at the same quality level, using the same amount of time, the math becomes very simple. They don't need 3 people anymore. They need 1 person who figured out the workflow approach. This is why AI won't replace you, but someone using AI will. It's not that AI is doing the job. It's that someone has figured out how to amplify their capabilities so dramatically that they're making everyone else look obsolete by comparison. Solutions? Here's the framework that closes the gap. I call it the AI integration method. And it's built on 5 core principles that transform you from someone who uses AI occasionally to someone whose entire work output is amplified. First, implement comprehensive task mapping. This isn't just listing what you do. This is understanding your entire workflow as a system. Spend time breaking down not just your tasks, but the sequence, the decision points, the inputs and outputs. Most people skip this step and jump straight to finding AI tools. That's backwards. You need to understand your workflow completely before you can redesign it around AI. Create a visual map of your typical week. Every recurring task, every decision point, every output you create. Then for each element, ask, is this something AI could handle entirely, partially, or not at all? Be honest and be aggressive in your assessment. You'll probably find that 60 to 70% of your tasks could be handled or significantly assisted by AI. Second, design your AI stack strategically. This means selecting and configuring tools that work together, not just individually. Most people collect random AI tools like their Pokemon cards. That's not a strategy. You need a coherent system where different AI capabilities connect to create a multiplier effect. Third, establish your human-AI decision framework. This is absolutely critical. You need crystal clear rules for what stays human and what goes to AI. Not based on what AI can do, but based on where human judgment adds unique value. For routine decisions with clear parameters, AI should handle it completely. For complex decisions with multiple stakeholders and unclear success criteria, you need to be in the driver's seat with AI providing support. Fourth, build your rapid iteration system. Here's where the workflow approach really shines. Instead of using AI to create a final product, use AI to create 10 draft versions in the time it used to take you to create one. Then apply your human judgment to select the best direction and refine it. This fundamentally changes your creative and analytical process from linear to iterative. Fifth, develop your continuous optimization practice. The people pulling ahead aren't the ones who set up AI workflows once. They're the ones who are constantly refining them. Every week they're asking, where am I still doing manual work that could be automated? Where is my AI workflow creating friction? What new capability just became available that I should integrate? Schedule 30 minutes every Friday for workflow review. Look at your week and identify one bottleneck, one inefficiency, one place where you're still working the old way. Then spend the next week fixing it. This compounds incredibly fast. Now let me give you the specific implementation plan you can start immediately. These aren't theoretical. These are the exact steps that create real results. Step 1. Today, create your comprehensive task map. Block 2 hours. Use a simple tool like a spreadsheet or even pen and paper. List every recurring task in your role. Be granular. Write reports isn't enough. Break it into gather data, analyze trends, create visualizations, write executive summary, format document, distribute to stakeholders. Each of those is separate. Step 2. For each task on your map, assign it to one of 4 categories. Automate completely with AI. Augment with AI assistance. Keep entirely human. Don't know yet. Be brutally honest about what AI could handle. Most people dramatically underestimate this. Step 3. Pick your 3 highest volume tasks that you marked as automate or augment. These are your week 1 priorities. Don't try to transform everything at once. Focus on the tasks that consume the most time and have the clearest AI application. Step 4. For each of those 3 tasks, spend 2 hours this week building your AI workflow. This means actually setting up the prompts, the templates, the systems. Test them, refine them, make them good enough that you'll actually use them consistently. Step 5. Document your process. This is crucial. Write down exactly how you're using AI for each task. What prompts work, what doesn't. What human judgment is still required. This documentation serves 2 purposes. It helps you refine your approach, and it becomes evidence of your strategic thinking that you can share with management. Success story, let me tell you about Betty. She's a human resources manager at a healthcare organization. And 18 months ago, she was terrified. Her company had just announced a major efficiency initiative, and she knew what that meant. Budget cuts, headcount reductions, doing more with less. Betty had been with the company for 12 years. She was good at her job, reliable, steady, but she wasn't standing out anymore. There were younger HR professionals in the organization who seemed to be moving faster, accomplishing more, and she felt like she was becoming invisible. When AI tools started becoming available, Betty's first instinct was resistance. She thought, I'm an HR professional. I work with people. This technology stuff isn't for me. But then she noticed something. One of her colleagues, someone 5 years younger with less experience, was suddenly handling twice the workload. And when Betty asked how, the answer was simple. She'd rebuilt her entire workflow around AI. That was Betty's wake-up call. She realized the threat wasn't AI. The threat was becoming the person who didn't adapt while everyone around her did, so she made a decision. She was going to figure this out, even if it felt uncomfortable. Betty started with the framework I just shared with you. She mapped every single task in her role. Job postings, candidate screening, interview scheduling, onboarding documentation, employee communications, compliance tracking, performance review management. The list was overwhelming. But then she started categorizing. She realized that AI could draft all her routine employee communications. It could pre-screen resumes against job requirements. It could generate first drafts of job descriptions. It could create onboarding checklists. It could even analyze performance review data for patterns. Suddenly, tasks that used to take her 20 hours a week were taking her 5. But here's where Betty got smart. She didn't use that extra time to just relax. She used it to do the high-value HR work that nobody else was doing. She started conducting stay interviews with high performers. She analyzed turnover patterns and proposed retention strategies. She built relationships with department heads and became their strategic partner, not just their administrative support. Within 6 months, everything changed. Betty wasn't just surviving the efficiency initiative, she was leading it. Management asked her to head up a new strategic HR role focused on talent development and retention. Her salary increased by 34%. And here's the kicker. When the company did eventually reduce headcount, Betty's department actually grew because leadership saw the strategic value she was creating. Today, Betty manages a team of 5. She's openly teaching everyone her AI workflows, as she went from feeling invisible and worried about job security to being one of the most valuable people in her organization. Same person, same company, completely different trajectory. All because she understood that the real competition wasn't AI, it was the people who figured out AI before she did. Call to action. Here's what I need you to understand. Every day that you wait, the gap gets wider. Every week that passes, someone else in your field is getting better at this while you're standing still. This isn't about future-proofing your career anymore. This is about staying competitive right now. So here's your immediate action step. Today, before you do anything else, create that task map. 2 hours. That's all it takes to get started. Write down everything you do, be honest about what AI could handle, and pick 3 tasks to transform this week. Don't overthink it. Don't wait until you've taken another course or read another article. The people winning right now aren't the ones with perfect knowledge. They're the ones taking imperfect action and learning as they go. Remember, AI won't replace you, but you know who will. The person who started working on this yesterday, the person who's iterating and improving while you're still researching. The person who understands that this isn't about technology. It's about being willing to fundamentally rethink how you work. Like and subscribe to KB BlueTree for more insightful content that gives you real strategies, not just theory. We're here every week helping professionals navigate exactly these kinds of career challenges with frameworks that actually work. The choice is yours. You can keep working the same way and hope it's enough. Or you can spend 2 hours today mapping your workflow and start closing the gap. One of those choices has a future. The other doesn't. Now go build the workflow that makes you irreplaceable.